Assalamu alaikum and welcome to lecture number 10 for the course of Corporate Social Responsibility MGT610. This chapter is again in continuation to chapter number 3 that we were discussing in the last two chapters as well. Chapter number 3 is about the stakeholders theory. We're basically discussing what is stakeholders theory, who stakeholders are, what are the various classifications of stakeholders, and how would they impact organizations, and what the organizations need to do in order to ensure that the needs and wants and rights of all stakeholders are properly fulfilled. And we've also discussed the fact that it is imperative and very important for the corporations to fulfill these rights in order for the corporation to have a sustainable growth in the future, or in order for the corporation to have sustainable profits for the future. Now, the learning objectives for this particular chapter are that we want our students to understand the definition of stakeholders. I hope by now you're very clear of what stakeholders are and how are you supposed to define them. You should be able to understand why the stakeholders theory is important. We've also discussed this fact as to why stakeholders theory is important. Learn the taxonomy of stakeholders. We've also done that, whereby you have analyzed the different classifications of stakeholders, the primary social, the secondary social, the primary non-social, and the secondary non-social as well. And you've also understood, or we've also talked about various different types of stakeholders. We've discussed employees, we've discussed customers, we've discussed governments and other regulators, we've talked about suppliers as well. So these are the various different important stakeholders that we need to discuss. Then we have to understand the holistic nature of the the concept of corporate social responsibility. So that is something that we've discussed, whereby we discuss कि stakeholders के relationship क्या होते हैं, उनकी holistic nature क्या होती है. Holistic basically means एक overall, एक complete relationship को, एक पूरी picture को देखने को जब हम जब बात करते हैं, that is what we call as a holistic nature. And then we talked about कि जिसमें क्या tangible और क्या intangibilities आती हैं, या क्या tangible और intangible manifestation आती हैं इस relationship में, जो कि आप corporate social responsibility को देखते हुए अपने stakeholders के साथ maintain करते हैं. From this particular slide, we're going to start our lecture for today. Now, these are the slides that we've done before as well, but since I wanted my lecture to be in one continuous go, whereby you would be able to understand the concepts in greater detail, that's why I've gone a little bit back, and मैंने last lecture की कुछ slides जो हैं आज के lecture में डालकर I'm going to start all over again. Now, what we're discussing in this lecture is we're discussing what are the factors that have an impact on businesses, or what are the things that have an impact on businesses and that can affect businesses, and what are the various dilemmas, what are the various confusions. Dilemmas का मतलब ही confusion होता है. What are the various dilemmas that exist in the business? So this is where we're going to start. Up till now, the process of development pursued capital formation and raising GNP in the belief that the mysterious hand would ensure the fair distribution of gains. So generally, what corporations and people and businessmen used to believe, that what should we do? We should just concentrate with capital formation. And capital here, when I say capital formation, I basically mean money. So what the businessmen were concerned about is that all that we should do is we should just work to formulate and make money, lots of money, and then we should be concerned with raising GNP and talking about GDP. And they thought that once these two things would be done, which concerned the GNP and the capital formation, automatically some magical hand, some mysterious way is going to appear, whereby the gains that these corporations would have would automatically be fairly distributed among the society. Now, when you look around yourself, do you see that happening? Do you think कि ये जो statement मैंने अभी आपको बताई है कि we should just be concerned with GNP and we should just be concerned with capital formation, and the gains would automatically be fairly distributed through some mysterious hand? Does it work? Is it true? Do you see it around you? No, you don't, right? What is happening is that when there is capital formation, the richer are becoming richer and the poor is becoming poorer, right? So ये तो नहीं होता कि जो चीज़ें या कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन हो रही है उसकी इक्वल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं हो रही. दैट मीन्स दैट जब हम एफ्लुएंस की बात करते हैं, मनी की बात करते हैं, पैसे की बात करते हैं, पावर इन टर्म्स ऑफ मॉनेटरी वैल्यूज की बात करते हैं, दैट इज समथिंग विच इज नॉट इनफ फॉर सोसाइटी. इट इज नॉट इवन इनफ फॉर एनी सोसाइटी. Societies, people, individuals, groups are going to need other things. Other things, when I say other things, what do I mean? Things other than the monetary things that we have, right? So that is mean कि भाई आप हर चीज उस mysterious hand पर नहीं छोड़ सकते. You have to do things yourself because money is not everything. Corporations have to recognize the philosophy of empty plenty. Empty plenty, as I said earlier as well, empty plenty is basically whereby corporations are producing material things and assuming कि जो material things हैं ये individual को completely satisfy कर देंगी, and meanwhile completely ignoring the emotional satisfaction of a consumer. So that is what empty plenty is. कि yes, you're giving you आपके consumer के पास बहुत सारी choices हैं, आपके consumer के पास बहुत सारे alternatives हैं, आपको उनकी नीड्स एंड वांट्स फुलफिल करने के लिए आपने 10 किस्म की मटेरियल चीजें, टेंजिबल चीजें आपने उनको प्रोवाइड कर दी हैं अपने कस्टमर्स को. बट व्हेन यू आस्क योरसेल्फ दिस क्वेश्चन, व्हाट आर वी डूइंग, व्हाट आर वी ऑफरिंग टू आवर कस्टमर इमोशनली, और व्हेन यू आस्क योरसेल्फ दिस क्वेश्चन, आर वी सैटिस्फाइंग द इमोशनल नीड्स ऑफ द कस्टमर्स, then you're stuck, because the answer that you hear is no, you're not. You're not satisfying the emotional needs of customers. There's no emotional satisfaction with respect to the customer. So that is where you tend to sort of think about, or that is where corporations have to realize कि जी फिजिकल नीड्स के साथ साथ टैंजिबल नीड्स, ऐसी नीड्स जो कि टैंजिबल प्रोडक्ट्स फुलफिल करें, उनके साथ साथ कंज्यूमर्स की इमोशनल नीड्स भी होती हैं, एंड दोज नीड्स आर समथिंग दैट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नीड्स टू फुलफिल एज वेल. Businesses have to work for the physical and emotional needs of the people. Again, as I said, it's not only the physical needs that businesses should be concerned about. It is also the emotional needs of people that businesses should be concerned about. So, if I am buying a particular product and उसका जो packaging है वो एक ऐसी चीज से बनी हुई है जो कि biodegradable नहीं है, and I throw it outside my house, then there's somebody else as well जो कि उस wrapper से जो कि biodegradable नहीं, उससे affect होगा. आपकी environment खराब होगी, आपकी एनवायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन होगी, और कोई ना कोई किसी ना किसी तरीके से उस नेगेटिव एक्टिविटी के कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस से अफेक्ट होगा नेगेटिवली. सो इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर कॉर्पोरेशंस टुडे टू थिंक अबाउट द फिजिकल, टू फुलफिल द फिजिकल नीड्स ऑफ द कंज्यूमर्स and also to fulfill the emotional needs of the people. Now, the best option available to corporations is that in order to overcome the issues of trust and values, corporations have to ensure कि जी वो ऐसे सिस्टम्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बनाएं, ऐसे स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बनाएं, ऐसे प्रोसेसेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में बनाएं जो कि ट्रस्ट को और वैल्यूज को प्रमोट कर सकें, जो कि ट्रस्ट बिटवीन द कॉर्पोरेशन एंड द स्टेक होल्डर्स को प्रमोट कर सकें. ऐसा स्ट्रॉन्ग वैल्यू सिस्टम बनाएं जिसमें जब जो भी उस वैल्यू सिस्टम का पार्ट बने वो ऑटोमेटिकली सही रास्ते की तरफ चल पड़े. ऑब्वियसली इसमें चेक्स एंड बैलेंसेस भी होंगे, इसमें कोड्स भी होंगे, इसमें गाइडलाइंस भी होंगे, इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें होंगी, because that is exactly what makes a process. The second thing that organizations need to do is that they should have open directed system instead of closed entropic systems. So open directed systems are systems which are open, which are continuously interacting with the stakeholders, the systems which are taking advice, asking people, taking information from the environment, from the stakeholders, and then giving feedback to those stakeholders as well. Now, such a system is going to result in creativity, such a system is going to result in innovation, such a system is going to result in more ideas, and eventually, most probably, more profitability as well. On the other hand, when you're talking closed Entropic systems, entropic again is a word which has been taken from thermodynamics. अगर आपको सर्च करना तो आप कर सकते हैं. Closed entropic systems are those systems जो completely closed, जो कि porous नहीं होते. Now when a system is closed, that means that transfer of ideas from one side to the other side is extremely difficult. As a result of which, such systems are the ones जो जिसमें easy flow of ideas नहीं होता. As a result of which, आपकी creativity भी कम होगी, आपकी इनोवेशन भी कम होगी, और मोस्ट प्रोबेबली इन द लॉन्गर रन आपको प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी और ग्रोथ के भी इश्यूज आएंगे. टू बी मीनिंगफुल, द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस have to do an honest assessment of internal and external environment. So that means कि organizations को values को promote करना है, organizations को trust लेकर आना है अपने अंदर, organizations को open directed systems चाहिए, and then they need to have an open assessment of their environment as well. जब हम SWOT analysis की बात करते हैं उसमें strengths and weaknesses तो internal होते हैं, बस इस केस में आपको open assessment, honest assessment करनी है अपनी opportunities and threats की. Now once you've analyzed those and assessed those, then you need to listen to diverse ideas, because since you believe or you have implemented the open directed system, तो आपको ऑटोमेटिकली आपको आइडियाज सुनने भी हैं, आपको आइडियाज समझने भी हैं, और आपने एक ओपन माइंड के साथ आइडियाज को एक्सेप्ट करना है. एंड देन इफ यू लाइक सम आइडिया, देन यू नीड टू encourage change as well. If there's something which you like, if there's something which you think is going to be good for your company, then you have to adopt it, then you have to implement it, and not think यार हम इतने सालों से तो ये काम करते हैं, अब हम कैसे change करें. So it is extremely important with reference to open directed systems that you need to encourage change. Now जब भी आप change की बात करेंगे, then you need to avoid extremities. ना आप इस extreme पर रहेंगे, ना आप इस extreme पर रहेंगे. You need to be right in the middle. So that means कि जब आप especially with reference to ideas की बात करते हैं, especially with reference to generation of ideas की बात करेंगे, तो आप total conformity भी नहीं चाहते. You don't want कि आप एक meeting करें and everybody in the room agrees with you, because when everybody is going to agree with you, then automatically creativity or innovation कम हो जाएगी, because people are not going to think with their own mind. People are not going to think from here. They're just going to say अच्छा जो boss कह रहा है वो सही है. So automatically आपका जो level या quality of ideas है उस पर फर्क पड़ेगा. ऑन दी अदर हैंड, अगर आप कंप्लीट, जब आप आइडिया जनरेशन के रेफरेंस से कंप्लीट डिसरिगार्ड पर जाते हैं कि जी देयर 10 पीपल सिटिंग इन द रूम एंड एवरी वन ऑफ देम इज डिसएग्रीइंग विद द अदर पर्सन, देन व्हाट विल हैपन इज कि आपको केओस होगा, कंफ्यूजन होगी, झगड़ा होगा, लड़ाई होगा, बट कोई पॉजिटिव चीज उस डिस्कशन में से नहीं निकलेगी. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर टॉकिंग और व्हेनेवर यू आर एनालाइजिंग और डूइंग एन असेसमेंट ऑफ योर एनवायरनमेंट, you need to know that you need to one, do an honest assessment, 2, you should generate ideas, and 3, you should be open to change. That if something new comes up, I'm not going to disregard it, or I'm not going to totally accept it as well. I'm going to stay in the middle. I can question it as long as it's a functional conflict. तो फिर आपके लिए वो acceptable है and you're okay with it. Why do you want this? Because diversity in ideas is important for CSR to work internally and externally. Because जब भी आप ये lots of ideas की बात करते हैं, तो आप किस कॉन्सेप्ट की तरफ जा रहे हैं? बेसिकली टॉकिंग अबाउट डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ आइडियाज, whereby you want as many ideas or as different ideas that you can get. Again, why is diversity of ideas important? Because the more the ideas, the better probability that you are going to succeed in whatever you're doing. And again, diversity of ideas is also extremely important for implementing, or is extremely important for CSR to work internally and externally as well. Now, the above mentioned system needs to be driven by professionals. Which above mentioned system? This system of assessing an environment, the system of encouraging ideas, this system of ensuring कि जी आप change को accept करें और change को properly manage करें. Now this entire process would require the work of professionals. Now professionals need to be associated with values and ideals which have to be intertwined with social well-being. So जब भी हम professionals की बात करते हैं, who are professionals? Professionals are people, professionals are individuals जिनका एक high skill set होता है, जिनकी knowledge होती है, जिनका wisdom होता है, जिनका experience होता है, right? Now ये सब बातें technical हैं. In addition to all these things, a very important aspect is that the professionals have to be associated with values and ideals. Question why? The answer to your question is because जो हम पहले बात कर चुके एक दफा कि organization itself is something which cannot think for its own self. So it's basically an artificial person that you have. Now, organization की जितनी thinking होती है वो आपका professional ही करता है. So that means that whatever the professional thinks is what the organization is going to think as well. And if you would want an organization which is doing activities in the realms of corporate social responsibility, or is indulging or is doing ethical activities, or you want an organization to to do things right and not harm the environment and take care of the stakeholders and the community and the society, then you would want such professionals running that company who believe in all these things. Because if a professional is not going to believe in all these things, then automatically the organization will also not do all these things. So अगर organization ने corporate social responsibility के लिए, ethics के लिए, society के लिए, community के लिए काम करना है, तो automatically the professional also has to believe in this कि जी हमारी organization की कोई responsibility है society के लिए. So that means that it is important that the professionals believe or have very high moral standards, should have very high ethical standards, should believe or should be associated with values and ideals. And then the values and ideals need to be intertwined with the social well-being concept as well. So एक होता है कि जी आपकी value होती है कि जी profit making करनी है, एक आपकी value होती है कि जी whatever the corporation is doing, it has to be it has to be a thing it has to be an act which is socially responsible. Now दोनों values में बहुत फर्क है. अगर आपकी value सिर्फ profit making है, आपके actions, आपके initiatives, आपका thought process बहुत different होगा. On the other hand, अगर आपका thinking process is sort of tilted towards corporate social responsibility, then automatically whatever actions that you will take, whatever activities that you will do, whatever decisions that you're going to take, they will positively impact the social well-being of people. So again, important for managers to be associated with the right set of values, to be associated with the right set of ideals, so that उनके actions जो हैं वो intertwined हो with social well-being. As professionals cannot have stereotype meanings of entities, it is important for professionals not to have stereotype meanings of entities. Stereotype basically means जो आपका preset mind है, आपकी पहली judgment आप सब पर एक apply करें. जो आपने पहले सोचा किसी के बारे में वो आप सब सारे groups पर apply करें. But that doesn't happen in real life, right? People can be different. For example, when they say कि जी Pakistanis are terrorists, are we terrorists? क्या आप और मैं terrorist हैं? नहीं, हम तो नहीं हैं. So that means that just because we are Pakistanis and just because we are Muslims, that does not or will not mean that we are terrorists as well. But when people say कि जी अच्छा Pakistani, okay, and to Muslim, that means you're a terrorist, that's the stereotype that I'm talking about. और जब हमको कोई कहता है तो हमको कितना we feel angry, we don't feel nice, and we feel humiliated as well कि भाई आप कैसी बातें कर रहे हैं. We're not the same. There's certain people in the society which behave that way, but not everybody. Same thing happens with professionals as well कि हम professional को जो organizations चला रहे हैं, managers, senior management की जब हम बात करते हैं, we do not want them to have a stereotype meaning of entities. हम नहीं चाहेंगे कि जी वो खुद जो एक pre-determined versions हैं वो उसके बारे में बात करें. Remember, I think first chapter में हमने बात की थी कि जी since the definition of CSR is being continuously redefined, it is important for organizations to find their own meaning of CSR. This is what relates to that. कि जी professionals को एक predefined meanings के साथ, predefined concepts के साथ नहीं चलना चाहिए. Decision making में predefined concepts नहीं आने चाहिए. They should use their knowledge to diagnose, to infer, to analyze, and then offer a solution. Because अगर किसी ने अपनी नॉलेज यूज नहीं करनी है डायग्नोज करने के लिए, फिर आप वो प्रोफेशनल किस चीज का हुआ? फिर तो अगर आपने कुछ पढ़ ही कर काम करना है तो आप में और किसी लो लेवल ब्लू कॉलर वर्कर में क्या फर्क हुआ? वो भी यही काम कर सकता है. प्रोफेशनल वही होगा who would use his or her knowledge to diagnose a problem, to infer it, to analyze it, and then to provide a solution which might be different from so many other solutions which have been provided before. So that is important for the manager to do. Now the danger with professionals are that they tend to misuse their specialized knowledge. बहुत दफा आप ये तो you don't even, I don't even need to give examples to you because ये तो बहुत common होता है कि जब कोई professional बन जाता है, they start misusing their specialized power because they think that whatever they're doing is the best. They think whatever they know, there's nothing more to know. They think उनको सब पता है और बाकी किसी को नहीं पता. So एक professionals के साथ सबसे बड़ा मसला जो ये है कि जी when they start thinking that they know all, तब फिर आपके और सारे मसले शुरू हो जाते हैं, फिर आपकी सोसाइटी के साथ मसले शुरू हो जाते हैं, फिर आपके वैल्यू सिस्टम में भी प्रॉब्लम आएगी, आपके ट्रस्ट के सिस्टम में भी प्रॉब्लम आएगी। आप जब कि व्हेन यू थिंक यू आर द बेस्ट एंड व्हेन यू थिंक व्हेन यू नो ऑल, ऑटोमेटिकली आप अपने बारे में ज़्यादा सोचेंगे और दूसरों के बारे में कम सोचेंगे, एंड अगेन वही सारे सोसाइटल प्रॉब्लम्स शुरू हो जाएंगे जिनको हम पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। नाउ इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जो सोसाइटी और कॉरपोरेशन का रिलेशनशिप है उसको मैनेज कौन करते हैं? आपके प्रोफेशनल्स, बिकॉज प्रोफेशनल्स जो हैं वो कॉरपोरेशंस को रन करते हैं। सो बेसिकली व्हेन आई से कि सोसाइटी जो है वो कॉरपोरेशंस को ट्रस्ट करती है, व्हाट आई मीन टू से कॉरपोरेशंस जो हैं या सोसाइटी जो है वो बेसिकली प्रोफेशनल्स को ट्रस्ट करती हैं हु रन दी कॉरपोरेशन। सो इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट कि प्रोफेशनल्स के वैल्यू सिस्टम, प्रोफेशनल के एथिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स, प्रोफेशनल्स के मॉरल स्टैंडर्ड्स बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो, बहुत सही हो, बिकॉज जितने अच्छे उनके स्टैंडर्ड्स होंगे ऑटोमेटिकली आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के और आपकी कॉरपोरेशन के स्टैंडर्ड्स भी उतने ही अच्छे होंगे, बिकॉज इट इज़ द इंडिविजुअल दैट मेक्स द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल वैल्यूज। एज आई सेड अर्लियर एज वेल, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन खुद से नहीं सोचती, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के खुद से कोई वैल्यूज नहीं होते। कॉमन एग्जांपल इज आज एबीसी चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव है, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का वैल्यू सिस्टम फर्क होगा। कल XYZ चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव आ जाएगा, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का वैल्यू सिस्टम फर्क होगा। सो द वैल्यू सिस्टम ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज डायरेक्टली डिपेंडेंट और completely dependent upon the value system of the individual. So if the values of the individual are going to be strong, are going to be right, are going to be with respect to corporate social responsibility, automatically आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है वो भी एथिकल पाथ पर ज़्यादा चलेगी, मॉरल स्टैंडर्ड्स को अपहोल्ड करेगी और जस्टली और राइटली काम करेगी। Now, just a quick recap जो भी हमने discussion किया, these few statements are just going to summarize that. Now, to be meaningful, organizations have to make life reverent and just. This requires an honest assessment of the internal and external environment so that the realities are matched. Importance of professionals is that professionalism is associated with certain values and ideals. It is intricately intertwined with the concept of social well-being, as that is the prerequisite for any kind of survival, individual or group. So when I say कि जी values and ideals and trust जो है ये क्यों बहुत ज़रूरी है? Because इसको हटाकर आप एज एन इंडिविजुअल और एज अ ग्रुप सर्वाइव ही नहीं कर सकते। बहुत छोटी सी एग्जांपल है कि व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट योर रिलेशनशिप विद योर फ्रेंड एंड अगर उस रिलेशनशिप में से ट्रस्ट खत्म हो जाए तो फिर आप क्या करते हैं? यू डोंट इवन फील लाइक टॉकिंग टू द अदर पर्सन बिकॉज यू डोंट ट्रस्ट दैट पर्सन। नाउ जस्ट अप्लाई द वेरी सेम थिंग ऑन अ रिलेशनशिप दैट कॉर्पोरेशन हैज विद इट्स स्टेक होल्डर्स। अगर कॉर्पोरेशन और स्टेक होल्डर्स के बीच में ट्रस्ट का रिलेशनशिप खत्म हो जाए देन नथिंग इज गोइंग टू सर्वाइव। ना इंडिविजुअल एग्जिस्टेंस हो जाएगी, ना ग्रुप एग्जिस्टेंस होगी, ना कॉर्पोरेट की एग्जिस्टेंस होगी, ना स्टेक होल्डर्स की एग्जिस्टेंस होगी। सो इट्स एक्सट्रीमली इम्पोर्टेंट for the stakeholders, it is extremely important for professionals to maintain trust, to uphold integrity, to uphold value systems so that आपकी individual level पर survival और आपके group level पर survival जो है वो ensure की जा सके। Next thing that we're going to talk about are the various needs of an organization or the various needs जो उनकी organization की requirements होती हैं वो कौन कौन सी हैं। First up is the need to hold together. उसके opposing with the need to be different. So and both of them are the requirements or the needs of an organization. The organization needs to be different so that वो competitive हो और customer को अपने competition से बेहतर या different product offer कर सके. And then again, the corporation needs to be together because if everybody is not together, then the organization cannot exist, it cannot survive, because for all the functional areas to work effectively, it is important that the organization all the factors in the organization or all the elements in the organization are linked together and they're running properly so that goals and objectives can be achieved. Similarly, the organizations have the need to conform and they also want to differ as well. They need to seek convergence and they need to seek divergence as well. they want thorough regulatory processes and they also want thorough innovative processes. Innovation और regulation का क्या link है? अगर बहुत ज़्यादा regulation होती है, बहुत ज़्यादा red tapeism होता है, rules, regulation, codes and guidelines होती हैं, तो वो automatically आपके innovation के process को let down करती हैं या आपके इनोवेशन के प्रोसेस को कंस्ट्रेन करती हैं, बिकॉज इनोवेशन तभी हो सकती है जहाँ फ्रीडम हो, लेकिन अगर आप हर चीज़ पर रूल रेगुलेशन डाल देंगे तो उसमें आपको प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. क्वेश्चन ये कि इन सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल नीड्स के साथ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को क्या करना है, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज टू बैलेंस ऑल दीज नीड्स. क्वेश्चन, हु इज गोइंग टू बैलेंस ऑल दीज नीड्स? इट इज द प्रोफेशनल who's going to balance all these needs, and that is why हम कहते हैं कि जो प्रोफेशनल का रोल कॉर्पोरेशन में बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग और बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. उसको ये सारी नीड्स भी मैनेज करनी है, उसको एथिकल भी रहना है, उसको जस्ट भी रहना है, उसने वैल्यू सिस्टम के बारे में भी बात करनी है या सोचना है, उसे ट्रस्ट को भी कायम रखना है, और उसे ये सब काम जो है इतने अच्छे तरीके से करने हैं कि आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है वो इफेक्टिवली काम कर सके. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about with reference to the same topic is जी businesses के क्या dilemmas होते हैं और business पर corporate social responsibility का क्या impact होता है, is the intangible aspect of the stakeholders approach. Now, stakeholders approach is based on long-term relationship with stakeholders. The purpose of the stakeholders theory is, or the purpose of the stakeholders approach is, that a corporation would want to have long-term sustainable relationships with their stakeholders. स्मॉल एग्जाम्पल, हम पहले भी शायद इस पर बात कर चुके हैं, सप्लायर्स की हम एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. अगर आप हर महीने अपने सप्लायर्स चेंज कर रहे हैं एंड यू डू नॉट बिलीव ऑन हैविंग लॉन्ग टर्म रिलेशनशिप्स विद योर स्टेक होल्डर्स, उसका नुकसान क्या होगा? डेली बेसिस पर स्टेक होल्डर्स चेंज होंगे, डेली बेसिस पर सप्लायर्स चेंज होंगे, डेली बेसिस पर सप्लायर्स चेंज होंगे तो आपका ट्रस्ट जो है वो ग्रो नहीं करेगा, आपको एक दूसरे के बारे में पता नहीं चलेगा. एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच आपका रिलेशनशिप बहुत रॉकी रहेगा. On the other hand, the other scenario is that you have a supplier who has been supplying you raw material for the last 10 years. 10 साल जब तक आपका बंदा या कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आपको रॉ मटेरियल सप्लाई कर रही हो, रिलेशनशिप डेवलप हो जाता है, यू ट्रस्ट द पर्सन, आपकी क्रेडिट टर्म्स बेहतर हो जाती हैं. लेट्स गिव यू अनदर एग्जांपल ऑन दिस. लेट्स से कि आप घर में आप let's talk about servants here. If you have a servant who's with you for the last 10 years, आपका trust level क्या होता है, आपका उसके साथ relationship क्या होता है? He or she is just like a member of your family. On the other hand, if you change servants every month, then what happens is that you're extremely cautious. कौन आया, कौन गया, कैसा हुआ, कैसा नहीं हुआ, because you don't trust that person. Similarly, जब हम stakeholders के साथ relationship की बात करते हैं, तो any organization or even stakeholders would want long-term relationships, so that जब आप long-term relationships की बात करेंगे तो उसमें आपका trust issues भी नहीं आएंगे, उसमें आपके जो with reference to जो interaction है वो भी बहुत positive और अच्छी होगी, और आप long-term relationships को आप establish करना चाहेंगे और आपको करना भी चाहिए, because and one more aspect of having long-term relationships with your stakeholders, it's less expensive. बिकॉज जब भी आप जल्दी जल्दी अपने सप्लायर्स को चेंज करेंगे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको पैसा खर्च करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज आपको अपने हर सप्लायर को वेरीफाई करना है कि जी काम भी कर सकता है या नहीं कर सकता. बट व्हेन यू हैव वन सप्लायर फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, ऑटोमेटिकली आपके एक्सपेंसेस कम होंगे, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपकी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी मार्जिन जो है वो ज्यादा हो जाएंगे. द रिलेशनशिप नीड्स नर्चरिंग एंड ट्रस्ट हैज टू बी मेंटेन्ड सो दैट ऑल स्टेक होल्डर्स रिमेन कमिटेड टू द वेल बीइंग ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, society and the community. Again, the key to having a long-term sustainable relationship with your stakeholders is to have trust. Because relationship जब भी कहेंगे, चाहे वो human beings में हो, आपके और आपके parents के बीच में हो, आपके और आपके siblings के बीच में हो, या आपके और आपके friends के बीच में हो, whenever you have a relationship, trust is one of the most important integral part of it. If there is trust, relationship without a trust cannot and will not exist. So जब आप stakeholders के साथ भी long term relationships की बात करते हैं, it is important कि आप अपने stakeholders के साथ commitment maintain करें. It is important that you have or you trust each other. All the stakeholders including the corporation should trust each other if you want a good relationship with your stakeholders. And आप ये सब कुछ क्यों करना चाहेंगे? Because you would want to remain committed to the well-being of the organization. So society and community. Again, coming back to sentence that I have been repeating all over the course, we're not against profitability. Well-being of the organization in terms of it being profitable is as important to us as the well-being of the society and the well-being of the community, because it is all a big circle that we're talking about. जब हम society की well-being की बात करते हैं, community के पर positive impacts की बात करते हैं, society को बेहतर बनाने की बात करते हैं, these things cannot happen if there is no organizational well-being. If the organization is not going to earn money, if the organization is not going to be profitable, if the organization is not going to grow, do you think that that organization can do anything for the society and the community? No, it cannot. So extremely important for organizations to nurture trusts between, or to nurture trust between stakeholders, so that the organization can maintain its commitment to its own well-being, one, and to the well-being of the society and the community. Now, values can be experienced, but they cannot be measured and quantified, and this is with reference to the intangible aspect of stakeholders approach. हर चीज को, जो भी आपकी monetary values हैं, हम उनको quantify कर सकते हैं. हम ये कह सकते हैं कि जी इतना profit earn हुआ. We can say that the organization reduced its expenses by 5%, increase its profit by 10%, increase the revenues by these many percent. Numbers we're talking, right? And we would know exactly कितना कितना कितना. आपको to the decimal point आपको पता चल जाएगा कि किस चीज का क्या effect था. But then we also say that money is not the only thing. Then we also say that organizations also, in addition to fulfilling the physical needs of the people, organizations also need to fulfill the emotional needs of people. And with reference to emotional needs and fulfillment of emotional needs, what is important is values. अब values की जब बात करेंगे तो जहाँ money tangible था, वहाँ values जो हैं, they're going to be intangible. And that is why they cannot be measured and they cannot be quantified. Hence, values are the intangible aspect of the stakeholders approach. कि जब हम कहते हैं stakeholders approach में, आप कहते हो कि जी आपको अपने stakeholders की well-being की बात करनी है, and you need to give them their rights and you need to have long-term positive relationships with them. Then yes, for example, अगर हम suppliers की बात करते हैं तो yes, we have to give suppliers business. We have to give suppliers money because उसके बगैर नहीं चलेगा. But in addition to money and giving them business, we also need to take care of the emotional well-being of the suppliers. We need to have long-term relationship with the suppliers. And whenever we're talking of having long-term relationships with the suppliers, then that means कि हम trust की भी बात करेंगे और value system की भी बात करेंगे. Now, value system और trust की जब आप बात करना शुरू हो जाएंगे, both of these things are something which cannot be measured. You cannot pour trust in a glass and see कि जी कितने cc का था. You cannot put value on a weighing machine and see ये कितने grams की थी. Trust and values both would be intangible and both would not be cannot be measured and both cannot be quantified. So आपका जो value system है, which is as important as any other material or monetary aspect, आपका जो value system है वो आपका stakeholders approach का intangible aspect है. The second जिस second चीज की हम बात करेंगे with reference to businesses is, or the dilemmas of businesses, balancing the emotional quotient and the intelligent quotient. आप अपने, for example, before I get into the discussion with reference to the book, हम as individuals हमें अपनी emotionality को और अपनी intelligence को balance करने में बड़ा मसला होता है. For example, I'm on a strict diet, or I go to the market to buy something and I see ice cream and I say no, I cannot eat ice cream. My intelligence my wisdom says कि नहीं Sarah, don't eat ice cream because it's not good for you, it's going to increase your weight. But मैं इतना उसमें मुझे emotions, I want to feel happy, I want to feel light-hearted, I want to have an ice cream, कि I go and buy ice cream. होता क्या है, my emotions take over my intelligence, and a lot of time vice versa can happen as well, whereby आप अपने emotions को side पर रख देते हैं, आप अपने अकल से सोचकर काम कर लेते हैं. That is basically the concept behind the particular topic that we're going to discuss right now. Now, the search for right professionals who can make the incentive-oriented journey towards perfection. What is needed is, the need of the hour is कि आपको वो perfect professional चाहिए. who can make a journey towards perfection. और जब आप perfection की बात करते हैं, perfection is a very huge word. I am perfect. Yeah, you're perfect. Can you say that? No, I cannot, because मेरे अंदर इतनी और मसले मसाइल हैं कि I'm far from being perfect. But जब हम एक ideal professional की बात करते हैं, the ideal profession has to be perfect. That means कि उसका the person should have knowledge, the person should have wisdom, the person should have experience, the person should have emotions, the person should have high moral standards, the person should have high ethical standards, and so on and so forth. So the right professional वो है who can make the incentive oriented journey towards perfection. Now the reality is, जो अब ये जो first point है, that's the ideal that you would want, that's the dream that you have. But the reality is, instead of focusing on emotions, attempts are made to annihilate emotions. लेकिन जब आप बात करते हो कि जी असल में क्या हो रहा है, what you see are professionals who are working, let's say 14 hours a day, and all that they are concerned about is, are they earning profits? Are they making money? Are they making the numbers? Are they getting the numbers? They're not concerned with emotions, not even their emotions, and not the emotions of the stakeholders as well. चाहे वो बेशक आप employees ही क्यों ना ले लें, they're not really concerned as to what their employees think. They're not even listening to the emotions of or the feelings of the employees. What they're concerned or whatever they're doing is, जब वो emotions को बंद कर देते हैं, feelings को close कर देते हैं, then what they're doing is annihilating emotions. So ideal ये है कि आपको एक perfect professional चाहिए जो कि in terms of intrinsic और extrinsic values में ideal है. मनी के बारे में भी सोचता है, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी के बारे में भी सोचता है, एंड मीनवाइल इमोशंस के बारे में भी सोचता है, फीलिंग्स के बारे में भी सोचता है अपने स्टेक होल्डर्स की. बट ओरिजिनली क्या होता है कि जो आपका जो प्रोफेशनल है, ऑल दैट ही इज थिंकिंग अबाउट इज मनी एंड नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट एनीथिंग एल्स. इंस्टेड ऑफ फोकसिंग ऑन हिज इमोशंस और द इमोशंस ऑफ अदर पीपल अराउंड हिम, व्हाट ही इज डूइंग इज ही इज लिटरली गला घोट रहा है लोगों के इमोशंस का. नाउ व्हाई इज अ प्रोफेशनल डूइंग दैट? Now, to understand that, we have to go back and think about the economic man. कि जब हम बात करते हैं ना मिल्टन फ्रीडमैन के concept की, that whatever the organization do, as long as the organization is making profit and making money, that's social responsibility. उसी से थोड़ा सा आगे जाइए तो economic man का concept ये आता है कि जी मैन इज अगर आप इकोनॉमिक मैन की बात करें, जिस तरीके से हम इकोनॉमिक्स की बात करते हैं, इकोनॉमिक ट्रांजैक्शन की बात करते हैं, उसमें सिर्फ मनी मैटर करेगा. एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू रिवॉल्व अराउंड मनी. हाउ मच मनी डिड यू मेक? इफ इट्स मेकिंग मनी और इफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज मेकिंग मनी देन इट्स गुड. इफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज नॉट मेकिंग मनी देन इट्स नॉट गुड. इफ द यू डोंट थिंक अबाउट कि भाई व्हाई इज द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नॉट मेकिंग मनी, क्या कोई प्रॉब्लम है, क्या कोई इशू है, क्या कोई मसला है. यू नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट all those things. All that you are thinking of is money, and all that you're thinking of, आपकी सारी thinking जो है वो monetary focused thinking है. So that is the concept behind the economic balance. And since your professionals are so concerned with making money, they're so concerned with economics, they're so concerned with the economic transaction that they're not thinking about the emotions. They're not thinking about their own emotions. They're not even thinking about the emotions of their employees. They're not thinking about the emotions of the customer. They're not thinking about anything, right? And that is why instead of encouraging emotions, what they're doing is they're annihilating emotions. Asking our professionals to keep emotions at home while they do activities has had a profound global influence. A lot of time what is happening is कि ये तो हम भी देखते हैं कि जी when you're coming to the office, please अपने emotions को घर छोड़ कर आया करें. Now this particular concept, what it is doing is that it is having a profound global influence in a way that it is making एक professional को ये इस particular जो जब हम कहते हैं कि keep your emotions at home, such kind of statements are basically making a robot out of the professional that we're talking about. Professional में individual human being का aspect खत्म कर देती हैं इस किस्म की statement, and automated robot concept को ले आते हैं, because it's only a robot which cannot think and feel. It's only the robot who's not going to have an issue कि जी घर में आपका if you have your son not well at the house, it's only going to be a robot who's not going to think about the son while working, because as a human being, agar aap individual hai, human being hai, reasonable human being at least, you will think about your son even while you're working because your son is not well. So such statements, such things जो होती हैं, इस किस्म की concerns जो होती हैं जब आप बंदे को कहते हो कि you leave your emotions at home or keep your emotions at home, such are the statements which have literally made what we are today. Again, ये स्टेटमेंट्स क्यों आते हैं? बिकॉज ऑफ द कम्पिटिटिवनेस, बिकॉज ऑफ द, जब हमने शुरू में बात की थी ना, कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन या सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट, ये इस किस्म की स्टेटमेंट्स हैं विच हैव लेड टू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बिलीविंग दैट व्हेन अ पर्सन कम्स टू वर्क ही और शी शुड लीव इमोशंस बिहाइंड, हाउएवर नॉट रियलाइजिंग दैट a person is nothing without an emotions. We've discussed this before as well, because अगर आप emotions को छोड़ दें या साइड पर रख दें, it is better that you get the work done through robots, because वो शायद ज़्यादा effectively और efficiently काम करें. You need people, you need emotions, because it is with emotions that you feel things, and for you or your organization to produce the perfect product for the consumers, they need to think about the customers, they need to feel what the customer needs. वही products important और अच्छे तरीके से चलती हैं या profitably चलती हैं जिनमें thought process भी गया हो और आपका इमोशनल प्रोसेस भी गया हो. सो दैट इज व्हाट वी मीन के जी, आपको स्टेटमेंट्स लाइक कीपिंग योर इमोशंस एट होम हैव हैड अ ह्यूज ग्लोबल इन्फ्लुएंस. The emotional intelligence decides whether the subjective individual is going to deliver the correct objective, because अगर आप वैसे बात करें किसी इंडिविजुअल की और आप सिर्फ दिमाग से सोचें, then whatever that you are going to do, it's going to justify your action. For example, you're sitting in an examination hall and you don't know the question. Automatically, instinctively, it's the intelligence that is going to say to you, कि अच्छा क्वेश्चन नहीं आ रहा, let's cheat. चीटिंग, किसी का पेपर देखोगे तो पेपर आ जाएगा, किसी से पूछ लो तो पेपर आ जाएगा, अगर क्वेश्चन नहीं करोगे तो 10 मार्क खत्म हो जाएंगे, 10 मार्क खत्म हो जाएंगे तो शायद तुम पेपर पास ना कर सको. प्रॉब्लम है, वी नीड टू चीट, किधर देखें, कहाँ देखें, बुक खोले ना खोले, किसी से पूछे ना पूछे. सो व्हाट द इंटेलिजेंस इज डूइंग हियर इज, इन द सिनेरियो और द सिचुएशन दैट आई जस्ट गेव टू यू, it's giving excuses to you for you to do cheating. आपको चीटिंग कराने के लिए वो आपको एक्सक्यूजेस दे रही है आपकी इंटेलिजेंस, या आपको मोटिवेट करिए चीटिंग कराने के लिए. क्या मोटिवेशन है कि भाई अगर चीटिंग नहीं करोगे तो फेल हो जाओगे, अगर चीटिंग नहीं करोगे तो आपकी प्रमोशन नहीं होगी, अगर चीटिंग नहीं करोगे तो आपके अच्छे मार्क्स नहीं आएंगे. एंड ऑल दीज एडवर्स रिएक्शंस आर बेसिकली मोटिवेटिंग यू टू डू चीटिंग. ना इसी सिनेरियो में अगर आप सिर्फ दिमाग से सोचेंगे तो आप मसले में पड़े रहेंगे, एंड मोस्ट प्रोबेबली while you're thinking with your mind and you're using your intelligence, most probably you're going to cheat. But when you bring in your emotional intelligence into this scenario as well, then your emotions are going to say nahi, cheating is not right, it's unethical, मैं गलत बात है. अब पता नहीं कि टीचर ने मुझे, इन्विजिलेटर ने मुझे, if the invigilator catches me then पूरी क्लास के सामने बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. I don't feel right about it. No, it's not good. It's not right. I've never cheated before. How can I do this now? It is better कि मैं question attempt ना करूँ rather than cheat. Now that's your emotional intelligence. Now इसी scenario में if you just bring in the intelligence and not the emotions, then what will happen is आप सिर्फ एक काम करोगे, the intelligent brain will be able to justify any activity. Hence when emotions are not managed, individuals can commit the most heinous crimes. मैंने तो आपको बहुत छोटी सी एग्जाम्पल दी कि in an examination hall when you're cheating and when you're not using your emotional intelligence and you're only using your intelligent brain, then the chances are that you will cheat. But whenever you bring in your emotional intelligence, that is the feeling that you have कि जी ये गलत है या सही है, and that emotional intelligence is the one which stops you from doing something wrong and motivates you in doing something right. Another example is that आप क्या ख्याल है लोग volunteer क्यों करते हैं? Volunteer does not involve paying money, right? Volunteer would involve giving lots of time. Volunteerism is going to involve giving lots of money. Volunteerism is going to involve कि जी आपका एफर्ट लगता है, आपको पैसे देने पड़ते हैं, आपका टाइम खर्च होता है, बट आपको कुछ वापस नहीं मिल रहा होता. ना आपकी इंटेलिजेंस ही कहती है इट्स वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम, ना पैसा मिलेगा, ना आप मेहनत भी करोगे, आप टाइम भी लगाओगे, आप अपना पैसा पेट्रोल खर्च करोगे उस जगह पर जाने के लिए, यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू गेट एनीथिंग इन रिटर्न, डोंट डू इट, नॉट गुड, नॉट राइट. But your emotions are going to say, nahi, you're helping somebody, you're helping the mankind, you're helping the society, you're helping the community. आप जाओगे, आप बच्चों को पढ़ाओगे, आप बच्चों को सिखाओगे, those individuals are going to become a productive part of the society. So आप जब emotions के साथ सोचते हो तो आप चीज़ बहुत, again, जब हम remember हम quantity और quality की बात करते हैं, जब हम इमोशंस के साथ सोचते हैं तो हम क्वालिटी की बात करते हैं, एंड वी आर नॉट थिंकिंग ऑफ नंबर्स. जब हम इंटेलिजेंस के साथ सोचते हैं तो हम क्वांटिटी की बात करते हैं, हम क्वांटिफिकेशन की बात करते हैं, हम मेजरेबल आउटपुट की बात करते हैं. इंटेलिजेंस, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस इज मैं बच्चों को पढ़ाऊंगी, द किड इज गोइंग टू बिकम अ प्रोडक्टिव मेंबर ऑफ द सोसाइटी, द किड इज गोइंग टू ग्रो अप, ही इज गोइंग टू वर्क, वो अपनी फैमिली को भी उस मसलों से निकालेगा और वो पाकिस्तान के लिए अच्छा साबित होगा. मैं अपनी इंटेलिजेंट ब्रेन के साथ सोचती हूँ गर्मी में जाना पड़ेगा, इतना महंगा पेट्रोल है वो भी खर्च होगा, इतने मसले मसाइल है, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू गो अराउंड विद माय फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट एम आई गोइंग टू गेट इन रिटर्न, पैसे तो मुझे मिल ही नहीं रहे, सिर्फ ख्वारी ख्वारी मिल रहे, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू डू दैट. दैट इज द डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन योर इंटेलिजेंट ब्रेन and your emotional intelligence. So जब आप ये जिस अखबारों में whenever you're reading a newspaper and you see फलाना फलाना somebody committed crime or somebody stabbed so many people in China, or a 24-year-old killed 27 people in America, what do you think that is? That's not your emotional intelligence. हाँ, शायद a lot of people would say कि नहीं वो बंदा बहुत emotional हो गया था. नहीं, if you would go and ask that person why you did it, why did you stab so many people, that person is going to give it 10 excuses. That person is going to tell you कि जी इसलिए मैंने किया था क्योंकि ऐसे हुआ था, फिर ऐसे हुआ था, फिर ऐसे हुआ था, फिर ऐसे हुआ था, that's why I did it. So what you're doing is you're using your intelligent brain to come up with 10 different excuses to do what you want to do. And you're not using your emotions in the right sense of the word, because emotions आपको right or wrong में distinction करते हैं कि करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए. So with reference to your professionals, it is extremely important कि आपके professionals जो हैं वो आपके intelligent brain को भी use करें. And then I'm not saying that you should not use your brains, because if you're not using your brains, you cannot go anywhere, you cannot grow, you cannot go forward. So the point is that yes, the intelligent brain has to be used, the intelligence has to be utilized, but in addition to the intelligent brain, you need to use your emotional intelligence as well. There has to be the right balance between the emotional intelligence and the intelligent brain. Unfortunately, the management focuses more on skill development and less on value development. So what is happening is कि आपकी जब professionals की बात करते हैं और आप organizations की बात करते हैं, what your organizations are doing is that they're focusing more on skill development. आपको लीडरशिप वर्कशॉप से भेज देंगे, आपको मोटिवेशन के नए तरीके सिखाएंगे, आपको अप्रेजल मेथोडोलॉजी पर आपकी लर्निंग होगी, कंपनसेशन, हाउ टू कैलकुलेट कंपनसेशन के बारे में आपको बताया जाएगा. दैट इज व्हाट इज स्किल. कम्युनिकेशन टेक्निक्स आपकी बेहतर हो जाएंगी, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स आपके इंप्रूव हो जाएंगे. दैट इज व्हाट योर स्किल डेवलपमेंट इज. बट देयर आर वेरी फ्यू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हु आर फोकसिंग ऑन वैल्यू डेवलपमेंट. एंड देन we now recognize what is the importance of a value system in an organization. How you feel, how you think, आप emotionally कैसे हैं organization में, आप लोगों के emotions को पहचानते हैं, समझते हैं, उनके बारे में क्या करते हैं, आप society के, आप workers के, आप अपने stakeholders के relationships को manage कैसे करते हैं, because managing of your stakeholders relationship is directly dependent on the value system of an organization. So organizations क्या करती हैं, skill development पर ज़्यादा focus करेंगे और वैल्यू डेवलपमेंट को कंप्लीटली उसको इतना इम्पोर्टेंट ही नहीं समझती. Why do they think that way? They think that way because they feel that intellect and reasons are tools for skill development. कि जो intelligence, brains and reasoning, cause and effect जो है, that's tool for skill development. Skill and actions need to be guided by values of you. And then again they think कि जी आपकी intellect, आपकी intelligence, आपका wisdom, आपकी reasoning ही जरूरी है job perform करने के लिए. लेकिन अब जब हम कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का कोर्स इन डिटेल पढ़ रहे हैं और हम उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस जान रहे हैं और हम ये एडवोकेट करते हैं कि कॉर्पोरेशंस हैव टू बी सोशली रिस्पॉन्सिबल, देन वी नीड टू से एंड वी नीड टू थिंक यस ओके, आप स्किल्स सिखाइए, आप इंटेलेक्ट की वर्कशॉप्स दीजिए, आप रीजनिंग के बारे में उनको बताइए, बट दी स्किल्स और द जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट है आपकी कॉर्पोरेशन के प्रोफेशनल्स की या आपके मैनेजर्स की, दैट हैज टू बी गाइडेड बाय द वैल्यूज ऑफ ह्यूमन एग्जिस्टेंस. Yes, you're talking to them about motivation, but then tell them about Maslow need hierarchy and don't just say कि money is the only motivator. Talk to them about the Herzberg two-factor theory and tell them that there are other factors in life which can affect an employee's morale as well, which can affect an employee's motivation as well. So maybe a pat on the back or an intrinsic reward is as good for that employee as the monetary reward. So that is what you need to tell them. And then again, आपको उनकी skill development में उनकी स्किल डेवलपमेंट स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है और व्हेन आई से एम्प्लॉयज की स्किल डेवलपमेंट स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के वैल्यू सिस्टम को भी इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है कि द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वैल्यू सिस्टम इज गोइंग टू इन्फ्लुएंस द स्किल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द एम्प्लॉय सो दैट बोथ कैन कोएग्जिस्ट इन सच अ वे दैट इट अफेक्ट्स द सोसाइटीज एंड द कम्युनिटीज पॉजिटिवली. राइट चॉइस that people have to make, as there is no area of life that does not contain value and ethical elements. What one needs to realize is that organizations and more importantly professionals have to make the right choices with reference to whatever decisions that they're taking in the organization. So organizations में जितने decisions लिए जा रहे हैं, the decisions have to be right, just right. The decisions have to be ethical. The decisions have to be just, and the decisions have to be socially responsible. Why? Because you cannot find any area. कोई area आपको जिंदगी में नहीं मिलेगा. You cannot find any area in life that does not contain value and ethical elements. हर चीज में whatever that you do is basically उसमें आपके ethical dilemmas होंगे, उसमें आपके ethical questions होंगे, उसमें आपकी value question होगी, everything that you do. So it is important for organizations to realize that since every aspect of life contains value and ethical elements, so the point is that you need to realize that you cannot run away from them, and you need to realize or you need to incorporate these elements in whatever decisions that you make so that you can make that one right decisions which is in the best interest and which is in the benefit for all people concerned. Next, हम ethics की इतनी सारी बात कर चुके. Let's just discuss ethics or importance of ethics with respect to corporate social responsibilities and impact of it on the business. I hope that you know what ethics mean, right? Ethics is basically the differentiation between right and wrong. Ethics is differentiation between just and unjust. Ethics is the distinction between good and bad. So that is what ethics is. Now, the healthy and wholesome growth in the corporate world cannot ignore ethics. ये तो बात हमको समझ में. If you want organizations to grow, if you want organizations to be healthy, if you want organizations to be wholesome, complete, then you would want them not to ignore ethics. बहुत ज़रूरी है उनके लिए कि वो ethics पर concentrate करें. The main concern is to make profit, and ethics has to be proactive part of business if profits are to be sustained. So that means that we would not want organizations to go against ethics, thinking that if we do ethical activities or thinking that if we become ethical, then we're going to lose profits or we're going to lose money. What is important is that corporations need to realize that profitability and ethics go hand in hand. So जब हमने शुरू में बात की थी कि जी जब आप values की बात करते हैं और profitability की बात करते हैं तो वो mutually exclusive नहीं है. बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से ethics और profitability mutually exclusive नहीं है. Towards the end of the next lecture, I guess, I'm going to show you the web page for Unilever Pakistan, and you'll realize, and it's the official website that I'm going to go to, and you'll realize that what they're saying is that with reference to corporate social responsibility and with respect to the actions that they undertook, keeping in mind corporate social responsibility, their profitability has increased, their expenses have reduced. So when companies say that doing ethical practices is expensive, and when corporations say that indulging in corporate activities related to corporate social responsibility is expensive, they're wrong. Because a lot of time, rather all the time, your profits are going to increase when you become ethical. एक तो वजह होती है कि आपका इंटरनल प्रोसेसेस अच्छे हो जाएंगे, अकाउंटेबिलिटी ज़्यादा होगी, चीज़ें बेहतर हो जाएंगी. दूसरा एस्पेक्ट ये है कि आपका जो कस्टमर है वो भी मोटिवेटेड होगा टू बाय योर प्रोडक्ट. If there are two companies, A and B, and similar products, but I know that A is being more socially responsible as compared to B, I am going to make a conscious effort to buy the product of A. Why? Because वैसे तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर रही, लेकिन मेरे एक एक्ट से मैं एक कंपनी को ये बता रही हूँ कि वो अच्छा काम कर रही है by buying the product of that company. So that is how everybody, and that includes I guess all stakeholders, कि जब आप एक अच्छा काम करते हैं. For example, there's research which proves that companies who are socially responsible, their employees have a high level of motivation. Why? Because you just assume that you're working in a company and you know that your company is going for environmental degradation. Would you want to work? Yes, I might work, but I'm going to feel, I will not talk about my company. I cannot be proud of my company because I know कि जो मेरी company काम कर रही है वो सही काम नहीं है. On the other hand, you're working for a company जो कि environment के लिए इतना सारा काम कर रही है, जो society और communities को इतनी सारी help कर रही है. Automatically, right, left and center, wherever I sit, I'm going to say I work for this company. My company is doing this for the environment. My company is doing that for the society. This is my company's commitment to the communities, and I'm going to feel proud that I'm a member of that particular company. So that is how it has been researched and proven कि जो आपकी corporate social responsibility initiatives होते हैं वो आपके employees को, वो आपके customers को बहुत positively influence करते हैं, और आपके employees का morale, आपके employees का motivation, दोनों चीजें बहुत improve होती हैं if the company that they're working in is involved in corporate social responsibility. Now, organizations have to presuppose accountability and integrity for perfect business processes. This is what I was trying to say, and this is what I was trying to mean, that before even taking the very first step towards doing something, before even taking that first baby step towards accomplishing something, organizations have to automatically presuppose accountability and integrity. They have to काम करने से पहले ही उनको ये पता होना चाहिए कि जी वी नीड टू बी अकाउंटेबल, हमारी फाइनेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन में अकाउंटेबिलिटी होगी, हम डिस्क्लोजर्स करेंगे, हम सबको एवरीथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी ओपन, वी नॉट गोइंग टू कीप सीक्रेट्स फ्रॉम पीपल. सो दैट्स अकाउंटेबिलिटी. एंड द सेकंड थिंग दैट दे नीड टू प्रीसपोज, और द सेकंड थिंग दैट दे हैव टू हैव इन देयर माइंड बिफोर इवन स्टार्टिंग विद द पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट इज इंटेग्रिटी. राइट और रॉन्ग में डिफरेंस. हम जो करेंगे सही करेंगे, हम जो करेंगे बाय द बुक करेंगे, हम जो करेंगे अंडर द लॉ करेंगे, हम जो करेंगे हम कीपिंग इन माइंड एथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस करेंगे. सो दीज टू थिंग्स के जी इंटेग्रिटी and accountability literally become prerequisites for having a perfect business process. Because अगर आप ये दोनों काम नहीं करते हैं या इन दोनों काम में डंडियां मारते हैं, then what is going to happen is that at some point in time your business practices are going to suffer. आप सत्यम कंप्यूटर्स की बात कर लीजिए, जिसका मैंने आपसे कहा था that you need to read and you need to study. उस केस में accountability issues थे. अगर इंटेग्रिटी इश्यूज उस टाइम पर नहीं थे तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी के प्रॉब्लम्स की वजह से वो कंपनी का वो हाल हुआ जो उसका हाल हुआ. सिमिलरली यू कैन फाइंड 10 अदर एग्जांपल्स जहां पर अकाउंटेबिलिटी और इंटेग्रिटी इश्यूज हैव लेड टू डाउनफॉल्स फॉर कंपनीज. सो इंटेग्रिटी एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी आर टू प्रीरेक्विजिट्स फॉर हैविंग अ सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस प्रोसेस. नॉलेज हैज नो वैल्यू इफ इट इज नॉट क्रिएटिव. सो व्हाट इज इम्पोर्टेंट इज के जी yes, we agree that knowledge is ज़रूरी है because knowledge is the prerequisite for you to doing something. But if you're using your knowledge to create something which is going to play havoc with the lives of people, then that knowledge is not good. That knowledge is not creative, because knowledge has to be in the interest of people. Through knowledge, you're supposed to produce something which is going to benefit people, which is going to make life easier for people. So that's extremely important. I guess with that, it's almost been an hour now that I've been talking, and you look a little bit tired, and I guess me too. So we're going to end our lecture number 10 right here, and we can start or complete chapter number 3 in the next lecture, okay? Quick recap of what we did so far. What we did was, in this particular lecture, all that we discussed was the impact of corporate social responsibility on businesses, and then we also discussed dilemmas that different people have. And we've just been talking about professionals and the importance of value system and integrity and trust जो कि professional के लिए है, because जो value system professional का होगा automatically वही value system organization का होगा. So strong values of the professional would automatically mean strong values for the organization. And whenever anybody, be it the professional or the organization, whoever has strong values would most probably 99.9% of the times would go for ethical behavior, would opt for corporate socially responsible behavior, would opt for just and right behavior. So that is what we were talking about. And then we also talked about कि जी सिर्फ monetary aspects नहीं होते CSR के, बल्कि CSR के तो बिल्कुल monetary aspects नहीं होते, but things like values are the intangible part of corporate social responsibility, which is as important as money, which is as important as profits, which is as important as any other thing जो कि organization करती है. So जहाँ पर हम कहते हैं productivity and operations and management and marketing and sales, वहाँ पर organization का value system भी बहुत strong होना चाहिए, because it tends to impact everything that the organization is doing. Now with this thought you keep this thought in your mind, and till next time, Allah Hafiz.